Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pearl L. Crawford Memorial Library Board of Trustees meeting, Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. And let us remember that this is an open meeting and will be recorded. All right, let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody here and everybody at home to a new era of the Pearl Crawford Library. As of next week, we will have a full staff, which we haven't had in almost a year due to various reasons. First, a major thank you, who's not here, but Cheryl Hansen was our interim for 3 months, just about. Yeah. Cheryl did a fabulous job. She's the only piece of this puzzle that we're gonna miss, but she did a fabulous job. She came in here and worked her tail off. She could have just bumped along and been the interim. No, she found things and she corrected things and did all sorts of things. It got to the point where we were calling it whack-a-mole. Just when she thought everything was done, something else would pop up that she had to deal with, and she dealt with it, and our library is better for it. Then we have a bunch of new people, and I'm going to start with the person who's not here. We have a new youth service librarian, Courtney Ekstrom, and Courtney has been with the library as an aide for a couple years, and she's going into the position of youth services. She is full of ideas and full of energy, and we're going to be very blessed with her. Second, we have a new assistant librarian, Deb Coggins. Deb left us, the Pearl, left us 10 years ago because she was a part-timer with us and she went to a full-time position. And in those 10 years, she's learned a lot, and she's coming back with her huge personality. And again, the library is going to benefit from Deb being back. Anybody?
I need to send a thank you note to Charlton somewhere along the way.
No, we'll be good. We won't push that.
Why not?
And third person is person of the hour. Nicole Messier is our new permanent director, who comes from Charlton. Career of library work in schools and town, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself in a second. But before that, I have one more person to thank, and it is a huge thank you to the person to my left. Pat Korch facilitated this whole operation for the last 3 months, getting interviews, getting the people to apply, putting the ads in everywhere, getting the interviews. She facilitated this whole operation, and we are where we are today, 90% due to this young lady, and I thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Now we'll go back to the permanent director. Nicole, would you just give the townspeople of Dudley a little synopsis of your career, please?
Sure. So I graduated from University of Rhode Island, Masters of Library and Information Science. I've been in public libraries for a little over 10 years, worked in the schools with kindergarten and first graders for almost 3 years, which I loved that job. I was heartbroken when I left. I didn't think I'd ever love anything as much, but I love the public library. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to help grow the services. The staff is great. I'm day 5 in, so what I don't know would fill a huge bucket, but so far the trustees have been fantastic. The townspeople that I have met have been fantastic, and the staff is very supportive. So I look forward to a long career with Dudley.
Super, thank you.
Welcome.
And she says she's been here 5 days.
5 days.
On the payroll, but she was here before that, making a very smooth transition, with Cheryl. So she was already with us, not getting paid, but she wants to make this work, and she showed it to us even before she was on the payroll. Again, thank you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, fabulous. All right, let's go to the review of the minutes of January 23rd, 2024, please. And those were sent out to us. Hopefully everybody got a chance to look at those. Do we have any corrections to be made on those minutes? Any comments on those minutes? Dead silence? Then I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move we accept the meeting minutes for January 23rd, 2024 as presented.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that is unanimous.
And I would like to thank Lisa Berg. She does a great job. with
Ah,
the-
true. Lisa,
Yeah.
when we did our own minutes, it was not fun. I did them briefly. And thank you, Lisa, thank you, Lisa. She does a tremendous job. All righty, director's report, please.
Okay, so, the staffing report, new library director.
Ta-da.
With Cheryl Hansen, the interim, myself, and Courtney Ekstrom, we did interviews for the position that was offered to Deb Coggins. As Ben said, she is coming from Charlton with 10 additional years of public library experience, and she's going to be a great addition. We did a little, couple tweaks to the schedule, so she will be working Monday nights. Courtney will be on Thursday nights to facilitate children's programming, opening up
Nice.
a whole another world of programming at the library. So we will have a senior staff person on each night that we are open late in order to bring more people in. So we're excited about that. And worked closely with Cheryl this in January to update the shelving locations in the juvenile section. I don't believe it is done yet, but Anne seems, in my 5 days of experience, to always go above and beyond for her duties. Let's see, she went above and beyond getting the tax forms that people were waiting for, which was great. Courtney is continuing to weed the children's collection. She's also preparing for her story times and her guest reader programs. She is like the Energizer Bunny. She is constantly working hard. Last night's story hour, we were anticipating a large crowd, so she was working until 5, cutting out those extra frogs.
She was cutting frogs like crazy yesterday.
She's great. Lena has graciously started writing the monthly newsletter again, which she loves to do. She's going to take ownership of that. She's also taking the event calendar over, and she will be writing the news press releases for the paper. That is something that she showed a lot of interest in and was excited about doing, and so
Great.
yeah, so she's going to do that. Dawn and Jubilee, they are working on putting the fiction collections in alphabetical order by title. We always want to make it easier for our patrons to find what they're looking for, and we're a little obsessed with the alphabet at the library, so they're working on that. They've been great.
I was told I was shelving them wrong.
You might have
I found the author, I put him there.
Oh, no.
Supposed to be in alphabetical order now, which is great.
by title. Yeah,
By
makes-
title, yep.
Definitely more efficient. Cheryl's last official day was on the 20th, so thank you, Cheryl. So appreciative of her mentorship always. And she is available to anybody for any questions moving forward. Yeah, she said she would be happy to do that.
Great.
So the facilities update looks a little light for the month of January.
Good.
The electrician was on site fixing the emergency lights. It's almost complete at this point. So our meeting next month, that should be completed. Per the town administrator, on the 13th, the library was open during the snowstorm. Most libraries in this area were closed for the day. The library lot was not plowed by the town, and the walkways were not snow blown until 4 o'clock.
Somebody else did some shoveling.
Yes, the interim was on the front walkway with a shovel, shoveling out to make sure that it was safe for patrons coming in and out of the
Cheryl was
building.
shoveling.
Yes.
So the town administrator wanted the library open, but there were no facilities folks on site to help keep that safe.
Correct.
Exactly.
Just
There's a
I'm
discussion.
not going to offer a defense, but there has been a change in terms of the management, if you will, of the highway department. Mr. Murray, who was the supervisor, has moved on and is in Oxford. And last night's Board of Selectmen's meeting, they were discussing appointing an acting highway superintendent, and Mr. Gadsky, who was in attendance and did provide some information. I don't know how that, obviously the transition looks like it's gone very well in terms of the library. Maybe it hasn't gone quite so well with the highway department. And I'm kind of giving them a little bit of a
I guess
one
I
off here
remember
on
that
this one.
happened in the past though, right?
Yeah,
And
we've
we're
had
always
issues.
on the last.
Ben and I have shoveled before.
Yes, yes.
We do have a policy though, don't we? I thought we had a policy for closing the library.
Well, now it's the town, going according to the town.
According to the town.
Right. Now, the thing is, my feeling is they should plow, obviously, they plow the lot here. And they should just go over to the library and do that, because we're
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
And so get the town done and then, you know,
Because we're
I understand.
not at
that
the
they
crack of
don't-
dawn,
Yeah.
thankfully, we're 10 o'clock. You know, they're busy with the schools, if the schools happen, had one of those iffy ones where it's a delay, they're busy with the schools. But then we're there, we should
Do
be.
the schools have their own people to do it, or, I know they've asked for a lot of consultants
In the
this
past,
year.
I'm not sure, again, that's year to year too, depending on
Yeah, I
the
suppose.
craziness and the lack thereof
Right.
of people to plow, but.
Well, maybe we need to address that with the town administrator. You know,
Yeah.
if the library's gonna be open, the time is, you
Yeah.
usually get there, before the opening at 10, so.
Yeah, the director is usually on site by 8:30.
Oh, okay.
The custodian's usually on site for 7 a.m.
Yeah, George was sick that day, so that's why he wasn't on site.
Okay.
He wasn't able to be there. And usually he would be there and he'd be shoveling, but because he wasn't, Cheryl stepped up to the plate and was shoveling.
Honestly, I remember that day, and I was surprised the library was open. I think I came in that following day, and it said, not jokingly, and then somebody said, "Oh, no, we were open." We only had, a couple of people came in. So, and the schools, I think, were closed that day
They
as
were.
well.
Yeah.
They were closed.
Yeah, the day that we shoveled, all the surrounding towns were closed,
But
because,
this building was open.
that was on a
wasn't it?
Saturday, yes.
Oh, no,
it was
I'm talking just, this past one was
Oh,
a
yeah.
Saturday?
No,
No,
when we
that was
were-
This past
Tuesday.
one, yeah, it was a Tuesday, and
13th.
Yeah,
this
it
building
was.
was open, so
Yes.
we were open.
Right.
Well,
It used to be when the school was closed, then the library
Oh.
would be closed,
I'm
but,
sorry, Pat and I have been here too long that, I asked her, I said, do you remember the latest version of how we run things? Because it's like, sometimes we were with this building, sometimes we were with the schools, and I said, I honestly don't remember at the moment. I said, we have to get that straight, exactly how, and that, I think we were told with this building at the moment.
okay.
Okay.
Then we need the town support and help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, we gotta be safe.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, we gotta be safe. I mean, we
That's
can't
it, the
have,
safety of
we can't
the
be
staff
having
and
patrons getting hurt.
patrons,
Absolutely.
Okay, we interrupted you.
That's okay. The town annual report is due on the 24th, which Pat is working on graciously. Thank you, Pat.
God bless you.
I believe she has the
Exactly.
numbers that she needs now, so that's good. March, we have some fun upcoming programs. The Wiggles and Giggles started back today. We had a full house. We actually had kids on a wait list. They were able to use the children's room, the ones that weren't allowed to participate. It's for kids 2 to 5. Thursday, March 14th, we are having Celtic music with Jeff Snow. That flyer just went up on the website today. It's on the e-sign, and we should be doing a Facebook push tomorrow for that. No registration, open to all. Saturday, March 23rd, it's Great Photos with your smartphone at 10 a.m. That is registration required because it's limited. The registration form is on the website. And then the last program for Saturday, March 30th is Respect Your Elder, which I'm super excited about. It's an herbal workshop that's also registration required. The presenter came in yesterday to touch base with us. She did a beautiful flyer. It is now up on the website, linked to adult programs. It does need to go on the e-sign, which we will be doing tomorrow.
Who's the presenter?
You're gonna ask me that name. I will let you know tomorrow.
I know someone who worked at Old Sturbridge Village who does a lot of herbal presentations too, so I wondered if it might be.
She was at the presentation that we had Tuesday night.
Oh,
Christopher Daly.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
we know who she is.
Yes.
It was hard, it wasn't hard to pick out, there were only 5 of us in the room.
There was-
And she was the only female, no, there were 2 female, one was the spouse of the presenter. Richard and I can tell you.
But it was not either of you.
Nope.
I don't think we're very conversant with herbal or whatever.
No,
the
no.
case may be, yeah.
Oh, it's
But
she,
I will email
okay.
you her name tomorrow. I apologize.
Not a problem. I was just curious.
Oh,
You'll recognize her.
We want to welcome her back.
Yes.
She's a frequent flyer.
yeah, she was really, really kind. Really kind.
Cool.
The website went live Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. So we are working on getting that looking just the way we want it to. It's going to be a little bit of a process. We're chipping away at it. There's a lot of links that need to be added back and databases and highlights. So if you guys have any suggestions, send me an email. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Yep. Do we go through the programming?
Programs you did.
Okay. But line by line?
You don't have to, no.
And then our favorite sheet, which is the 2024 circulation for January. I handed out an extra sheet to you guys so you could see the difference between FY23 and FY24. So overall, the the physical collection is down by 56 items, only 1.7%. It seems that is a poor trend, but I would like to point out that it's primarily due to the children's books and the children's audio. And we know when somebody is not staffing a room, the circulation is going to go down. So I do not anticipate seeing this next month. The great news is that the digital collection, thanks to Cheryl, is up by 394 circs, 46%, 450 circs, which gives us a total increase in circulation of 9.3%. So it's good news. We're trending up. And then some fun facts that I wanted to let you guys know because I'm always interested.
Did Cheryl do, I mean, that's such a huge increase. Did Cheryl
is.
do something special?
So she takes advantage of the Overdrive Advantage collection. So we can see what the Dudley patrons want to listen to and what they want to read, and we can order for them specifically. She's using her analytics tools like they should be used.
Cool.
So it's going to continue to grow.
Excellent.
It's going to be awesome to watch.
Yes.
And the quicker people that get their items that they order, the more people will be using
Right.
Libby.
Exactly.
So,
And this is part of what she mentioned, that she can actually, if there's a popular book, she can order us so many just for us. Okay, gotcha. Thank
So
you.
that our patrons get access.
Get first
Because
dibs.
sometimes you can be on there for weeks, you know,
Yes.
but if it's ordered, then you get it within days.
Fabulous.
possibly. Yeah.
yeah,
Fabulous,
it's
'cause
very cool. Overdrive is
It's in the
amazing.
pudding, right there.
Yes, and that's our beloved Libby app that we love, and we're gonna do a special promotion push for that next month. We're gonna really try to highlight some of these programs or services that maybe people don't know about. So for fun facts, I just like to see what people in Dudley are reading. So the most checked out author was James Patterson, which is interesting, followed by Danielle Steele, Nora Roberts, Debbie Maycomber, and Colleen Hoover.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Steele and
I was gonna say.
Nora Roberts.
Yeah,
Ding, ding, ding. Do you think we have a lot of female readers here?
we could say so.
James Patterson and
Patterson could go both ways, but the next three, I don't know Colleen Hoover, but is she another woman's author?
don't know.
What I would call a
don't know.
woman's author?
Well, we don't want to label her.
I know.
but, right now, we have 1,732 Facebook followers and 239 Instagram followers. So Deb has a special love for social media, and I can't wait to see what happens with that number. So I just wanted to give you guys a baseline for that.
It's great.
Yeah,
Really?
I have a question about the programming.
sure.
So it says story time, daytime, and evening, and you mentioned that you're going to add more on Thursdays. Is the evening story time going to move, or
We're not sure yet. We might offer it 2 nights a week. We might have an after-school program. I really have to get Courtney in there and really see what type of time that she has. We're definitely going to grow it, and I'd like to push out a survey to residents, specifically parents, asking them what time works for you. Mondays, I think, are tough because there's a lot of holidays, so they're
Yeah.
taking away a service at night. And also, you have a young one. Getting out of the house on Mondays can be tough. So if we can make it easier for residents to come on a different night, we certainly will try that. But we're gonna put a survey out, and just a quick 1 or 2 question survey, and see what people are interested in. Yeah.
I just want to let you know that for this month, for March, I invited everyone at 6 o'clock because
Yes.
that's what I agreed with Cheryl on Monday, so they know they're coming on Monday.
Perfect. We're very excited about that. You have
Yeah.
quite a lineup.
And to Courtney's defense, she hasn't even taken over the position yet, because she doesn't
Yeah.
start that till next week. And she's full of ideas, but she's got to get in there and just
Yeah,
settle in first.
Absolutely.
So this is great that you will continue Monday nights without any change, and then let the discussion start when she gets in there a bit.
Well, I would like to thank Adriana for having taken that on. and
Yeah, it's
obviously
been- obviously,
had a-
last night was
a
fabulous.
a record number, I guess, this last story hour, so.
And a lot of people are very interested. We already had 2 principals. We had Mrs. Desto and Mrs.
Good.
True. We had a teacher. We had the fire chief. And the fire chief promised that he'll come back in the spring, summer, and he'll bring the truck and the gear so the kids can check it out in the parking lot. People are interested. It's just we need the consistency.
Exactly.
Because we were a little disappointed at first when we had 2 or 4 kids.
Yeah, it was a
But
little
it was,
roller
it
coaster
was
in the beginning.
winter, we had a snowstorm, it was a lot of different aspects. But I assume now that it's gonna get warmer, it's gonna be better and better.
The great things is the community involvement. The people that you mentioned, obviously, they can go back to wherever their place of business happens to be and mention the library. It gets into the conversation, and hopefully, things spread.
Especially the
Word
teachers.
of mouth kind of thing is.
The teachers are
teachers are
very,
fabulous.
very interested. And I would like to invite the librarian from Mason Road to come and read here.
Good idea.
And even if Courtney is starting, maybe we can still keep the idea of a guest reader. I think people are interested in seeing someone else
Right.
every week.
Thank you.
Fabulous. All righty. Next thing I see under Director's Report, financials. There we go. Nicole, tell us where we are at the moment.
Okay, so we should be probably around 60% spent for our materials line. Right now, we're just under 50%. I think that's because we went without a director for a little bit, so we have to do a little catching up on our materials. So we're gonna be adding a lot of the digital books and the e-audio books. We've also started tossing around ideas for a library of things, which we plan to have completely purchased before FY25 starts. That way we can add those into the system. So things like drills and musical instruments and other types of learning tools. They're very popular at libraries now. The hotspots are finally on their way.
Good.
So those haven't been billed out yet, but that will help that materials line be spent down a little bit more. I'm gonna work on getting that FY19 state aid account paid down, so we can clear out that.
At this point, when you mentioned you're gonna spend money on tools and stuff, at this point, what do we non-books or traditional library stuff? We do baking pans. We do the telescope. What else are we?
Ukuleles.
Yeah,
The
we have a
ukulele.
ukulele, so hotspots would be considered
Hotspot,
part of a library of
Big Non, yep,
things.
yep,
We do have some memory kits.
Oh, that's right.
Which I wanna get, those repackaged and rebranded and out where the public can see them. They're currently tucked in the back of the library. Those are fantastic, especially Dudley being, a dementia friend. Those should be circulating. So we can add to those.
Excuse me, the senior center just below us in this building, I don't know what awareness there is of those among the people at the senior center. I think they've had some change in management or leadership recently too. Maybe the word needs to be, a reminder or just a
Yes.
friendly note that we have these things available and come on over. We're not that far away.
Yeah, and we can lend them to to put on site too.
So even better.
Right,
yeah,
if people
that may
wanna
be
try
better
them
still.
out to borrow them, but there's a company that actually pre-packages them now. They come in a nice clear tote and they're already put together by somebody who has a background
Dealt
with
with it,
memory
yeah, yeah.
issues. So we're not flailing as much to figure out what kind of theme
Reinventing
and
the
what we
wheel,
should
yeah.
put in it.
You may need to sign me up for one of those.
And they make them for kids too, which is cool. They're not memory kits for kids, but it's the same company, and they put like the manipulatives and the learning
Oh, sure.
tools together. So Courtney's gonna look at those.
Excellent.
Yeah.
My nephew, who is an assistant librarian up in New Hampshire, they have like outside things. So when one of his brothers graduated from college, we had like giant Jenga. And
To borrow
they had-
from the
to borrow,
library.
that you could borrow. They also had someone who had made and donated 2 different sets of the cornhole boards and things like that. So I don't know if we would ever have access to things like that, or if we want to just kind of keep our ear to the ground. But they do make family gatherings
Sure.
a little more entertaining.
Sure,
and
sure, sure.
Your family can gather at your house, or you can just come to our library, you know, things like that.
Definitely.
Good idea.
And it might be kind of fun to like have a show and tell, or
Yeah.
these are some of the things that we have. I'm still on board with Richard, I have to say it, with Richard, in having some type of a blowout, like a shindig at the library, to welcome our new staff and to welcome people into the library and what have you. And that might be something that we can show off, like the memory kits, like things that we have to share, you know, with the community.
Things that they don't expect to see in the library.
Absolutely.
Excellent ideas. Good, good, good.
If I may, just a note on the agenda for the selectmen's meeting last night was the TA provides FY25 budget, draft budget recommendations. And you'll see the collection of paperwork over there, and they killed several trees. The library budget was not discussed last night. His recommendations were centered primarily around the treasurer collector's office, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
I did watch it. I
So
saw you there.
I was kind
A
of
few people
disappointed,
here,
because given the agenda as it reads, I thought they would be getting into others. So my understanding, or my perception is that the library budget, 390, 935, or whatever that
Yeah,
is good.
and that was what was submitted.
Right.
Yeah.
So there were
That was going to
no,
be my question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
there were no questions raised and no discussion of, so I
Bingo.
think that's good. The only thing that was a little shaky was he's got a 2.5% placeholder for the schools, which I don't think anybody thinks is going to make pass muster when the time comes. But for the time being, I think we're in much better shape than we were certainly last year.
12 months ago.
Is in the rearview mirror and fading fast.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Cool. Any other questions about the existing budget? And we just had an update on next year's budget. Thank you, Richard. It's fine,
Well,
whatever we know at the moment.
The
Yep.
thing that's kind of disappointing is there've been a number of meetings, but then we really haven't got the solid, you know, the bottom line is still somewhere out there and at some cloud level and
Yeah, I think
floating
they're still
around.
waiting for information from.
Yeah,
water
everybody's
and Sewer and, yeah.
waiting for information, as you noted, and there was
Yeah.
discussion of that in terms of just information within this building seems to be somewhat less than current, so there's some dissatisfaction there. So it's still in the atmosphere.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Line 43, what is gift miscellaneous?
It's a gift account. If we
For gifts
receive,
for-
if we receive gifts,
Oh.
I mean, like, the most recent that I know of, 2 of Pearl's descendants, right around Christmas time, sent 2 nice gifts. And it checks in for our use, and they went into the gift account. And
I thought it was gifts
sometimes,
that we give.
what?
I thought there were gifts that we give to
No.
someone.
Oh, no.
It's like, it started with 11 and ended up at 29,000. It's like, how's that happen?
There's
Okay, I
no
understand
budget
now.
for that.
I understand now. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. No, people in town have been generous. And people who've moved out of town continue to remember us. Oh, and speaking of which, I've been updating Pearl's descendants with emails about what's been going on, and the most recent one was just an update on basically what I started with the meeting with, and I've gotten great responses. They're so happy, and they are so appreciative of the staff and the trustees for all the hard work, because they do believe it sounds like we're on a nice forward projection here. So, no, I heard from 3 of the 4 immediately, and 1 was on vacation.
Excellent.
Yeah. very happy.
Thank you for keeping that contact.
Two who are, one's the Cape and one's Rhode Island, said, we'll let her settle in, but we'll come visit this spring, Ben. I said, yes, she'd love to meet you.
Prepare yourself.
They're nice folks, they really are.
Oh, easy, oh, yes. So supportive. All righty, financial facility you already took care of. Number 4, reminder, town candidate nomination papers are available on March 7th. And it's Joyce and Pat who are up. And I see a little, this is great. Thank you for your cheat note on the side that I copied.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
I
go
just
ahead.
happened to notice when I was on the website today that Adriana's name is not listed
Oh, that's right.
as a member of the Board of Trustees. So I just want to make sure
Really?
that, unless she paid someone to have it removed, I just want to make sure that her name is on
Okay,
there.
please.
On the end report, that I
Yep.
can tell you.
Please, please.
No, it was one of those, I kept looking and I'm like, something is not right. And I was at work, I had it up on my screen and I was working on it, and I looked and I was like, where's Adriana? I don't see her name there.
Didn't
There you
say
go.
Adriana Nika, did it?
No.
No, 'cause I know it was listed that way. one
Yeah, so I kept both names, my maiden name,
Yeah.
but I usually use Buddha. I don't really use Nika. But,
Neither of them were there.
Oh.
Neither or neither.
You were missing completely.
that's interesting, because it used to be
Missed you
there.
entirely.
Well, maybe the update just got
Yeah,
slipped through, who
that's fine.
knows, but thank
I'm
you.
not gonna
You're
take it
welcome.
personally, it's fine.
You want to kick off the campaigns for both Joyce and Pat then? Or start a campaign rally schedule or something to that effect?
They've got to make their minds up, we just don't want them to forget it.
I want to urge them along.
Yes. And, because we vote in June now, right? We're now in June, so,
Just an update, one of our trustee alumni, if you will, is now in the assessor's office, Kathy
Yes.
Sandstrom.
Yeah, Kathy.
So if you can find your way into the building, she's
There you go.
just down there, down the hall.
Oh, is she working with Lisa?
Kathy, yeah.
Yes. yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Yep.
We worked together at Nichols.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
all right, anything on the agenda before number 5? Anything, any questions or things that need to be brought up? Okay, I will open it up to board member comments and observations, please.
If I may, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman,
sir.
an observation. I very much appreciate the director's report. Indication there that, well, what I see in that is teamwork. I mean, we see names mentioned in tasks and people are working on different projects and involved. And I think that's been a little bit in coming. I mean, finally, we seem to be there, which is a good thing. And just an invitation with our new staff, if any of them chose to show up at one of our meetings, I certainly would be welcome, and I'd love to have them stop
Yeah.
by.
Yeah, even for an introduction right at the beginning, you know.
I think that would be nice, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I would also reiterate what Richard said. Nicole, it's really nice to see that as a new participant at the Pearl, that you are encouraging all the employees to use their strengths. And I think that you're going to find that you're going to have camaraderie and definitely a really good kind of atmosphere be reborn there, which I think becomes very contagious. And those who walk through the door feel that. So thank you for bringing your leadership, but also encouraging your staff to spread their wings and share what they have with us.
They're great, they really are, I'm so happy to be working with them.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic,
I-
thank you.
It's happy to walk,
Yeah,
it's
it
great
is.
to be, see the smiles when you walk in the door now.
And that started with Cheryl, but then you worked together, and it's just almost because I was about to say you've been here 2 weeks. When you said 5 days, I went, that's all? I think I've been seeing you a lot there. But I mean, you and Cheryl worked together so nicely for such a terrific transition, and you both get credit for that one.
I'm very blessed to have her as a mentor, for sure.
No,
I know, I found it interesting, I was in one day, we were talking, we were laughing, and a gentleman came in, and I can't remember if it was Lena or Ann or Courtney was at the desk, and they asked if he had a library card. He said he didn't, so he got a library card, and then he came back the next day too.
The very next
and
day.
it's
He was-
like,
yeah.
I feel that the ambiance at the library at that point, probably, he felt welcomed.
Oh, yeah, because we were all there having a good old time behind the desk.
Okay, yes. He was back again yesterday, and when he walked in, I said, 3 times, and he's like, yep.
That's good.
Bring a friend.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
exactly.
That could be a good campaign.
Bring a friend.
Bring a friend.
Speaking of that, the Friends are still.
Oh, the Friends.
God, right.
If you aren't a member of the Friends, you'll be getting a letter from the Friends to renew your
Membership.
library. Yes, your membership, because their drive is starting, so.
And is there going to be a spring book sale?
Yes.
Excellent.
April 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Perfect.
Yes. There will be a
That's
book
all
sale.
my summer reading comes from the book
Yeah,
sale.
exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and also this year, they're going to, if you renew or get a new membership, you're going to be able to get a free book from their book sale
Oh, nice.
collection. Or if you bring a canned good donation,
Oh, fantastic.
that too. So they're adding a few things.
They're, this is an aside, but at the Black Tavern, they're collecting canned goods.
Yes.
March 10th to 17th, or am I get,
Next
I'm a
week.
little shaky on the
I think that
dates.
might be it.
Something like
Richard,
that,
yeah.
sometime early in
Right.
March. I'm sure there'll be something out there in the
Right.
world to identify that.
Yeah, they've been putting it, I think I saw it online, on Facebook, and they sent an email to members, so.
Right, I got the email, yeah.
Yeah.
But Black Tavern people, reach out to us, because we could, that's a 501c3, we could put that on our sign for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
you
that'd
could,
be
we could put that on our sign and piggyback
Yeah,
and promote your
sure.
Your food
collection.
can
yeah.
drive. That's
Yeah.
great.
No, that's a good idea. That's a
Yeah,
very.
they've got a lot, an email came out today, there's a lot going on there too.
Oh, they got, yeah,
Super.
new programming.
Well, just, and, they're replacing all the windows, I guess.
Oh, the windows,
and,
yeah.
a lot of,
Yes.
58
upgrades.
I think you said 58 windows?
Holy smoke.
I had no.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a staggering number.
It is a staggering number.
I had no idea that there were that many. I don't know why. I
Just
never
look at the
bothered to count
building.
them.
I mean,
know.
you only get about 2 feet of wall space before you have another window all the way across that 2 floors worth, and then the back and the sides, everything else, yes. Yes.
Crazy number.
All right. Shall we talk about the library?
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
continue with the Black Tavern? Anything else about our dear Pearl that need to come up tonight? Anything up to say?
Yeah, I have a
Go ahead,
question. You know, I
please.
always have questions.
Yes, please do. Go for it.
So I know you said we can email you about the website, but I just want to run by you what I have to say. When looking for the schedule for programming, I feel like you really kind of have to dig through it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make it more accessible, more visible?
We sure can. So when I was asked
It's so
what the top
tiny.
3 things that I was going to do this year, this was not one of them, but I feel like it's really important. We are limited to the event keeper program that we have, that we subscribe to. It is not the best that's out there. There is a much better program. I reached out for a quote, and we're most likely going to be moving ahead with it, because if people can't find what they need, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
Or they
one of
go
the reasons why we
elsewhere.
don't have
Exactly.
attendance, because
Right.
sometimes some things are not listed, they're added later,
Right.
so it's too late.
It's very streamlined. They have a museum pass module. They have a room pass reservation module, which you wouldn't think is important because there's not a ton of space in the Pearl, but you would be surprised at how much people are looking to do things online. You click on the button and you see the study rooms, and you're like, oh, I can reserve a study room. You don't get that out of our website right now,
Right,
so it comes with that. And then the museum pass module is amazing. It's preloaded with all the information for the museum passes. They click on a button and they pre-reserve it. That is a big complaint that I have heard, that people say to the staff, why can't
Yeah,
we
I'm sorry
reserve
about
museum
that, yeah.
passes? And if you can reserve them, they get used more, and then it's a better, value for the library. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna be looking into. Now is a good time to do it because the website is new, and it's a completely new look. I think Pat's seen it on some other library web pages. So.
She's been here 5 days. She's working on it.
It's important,
Yeah.
it's important,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That was gonna be my next question about museum passes. I feel like all the other libraries have more options than we do. What can we do about that? Especially Charlton. Charlton
Yeah,
has a lot more.
so I think maybe it's working with the friends just to let them know what people are interested in. I don't want to create survey fatigue with people that live in town, but I think if we did a quick Facebook survey on which passes would you like to see, that the beautiful thing about being part of this consortium is you can use other libraries' passes, and it doesn't minimize what we offer, it just maximizes what everyone can get. But I think if we change over to this other program, those will be used more and people will realize what's there, and then we can bring more on. The Southwick Zoo Pass is one that is up right now for sale. They sell it to libraries at a discounted ticket price of $20 per ticket, which seems like a lot, but it is $37 a person to get into the zoo, so it's quite a savings. Other libraries have pre-purchased those and actually sold them back to the patrons. Like, I know we like to do everything for free, but it's hard for some groups to put $1,000 out there and not recoup any of that money. So that was something that I will be attending the Friends meeting next month and talking to them about that if they're interested. So I 100% agree with you. Yeah, it's on my definitely top 5 to do.
Thank you. She has a long list.
I was gonna say.
Too, but you know what? It's going to get done. It's going to get done. It's exciting.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to jump in again with something. Nicole, I sent an email a few days ago, and it originated with the town planner.
Yes.
And what it was is something that came back to him from a member of the Dudley Economic Development Committee or Commission, whatever the terminology might be. And it was in regards to a presentation apparently by an Evan Hale, Assistant Director of the Webster Library, who was presenting before the Webster Dudley Business Alliance, looking for support for what they call a business incubator idea and grant. And I don't know whether you had a chance to look into that.
I did. I actually stopped by and saw Evan this morning at the library. I've known him for a couple of years, assistant director to assistant director, so I had never met him in person. So I stopped and talked to him. I wanted to find out what was happening with this grant. So it is an LSTA grant. They're right there. They're ready to go. They're taking their periodical room and they're going to change it into this business think tank or a like a remote workplace for people. It's going to be amazing. They are at the finish line at this point with that, but we talked about collaborating in the future, and he's got some great ideas, and we've made contact, and we're looking forward to building a relationship with them. He's excited to do that.
Good. Anything we could do to partner with that, because there's a big, the town has been looking for years to develop the commercial aspect of the tax base, if you will, and if this opportunity, it was presented to the Webster Dudley Business Alliance, so it kind of brought us into that, under that umbrella to some extent. So anything we could do in that, I think will be well received here in Town Hall, and hopefully by the popular, the folks in town as well, and the businesses in town as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are they doing? They're turning their periodical room into like a workspace for if you want to work remotely but not from home type of deal?
So if you need a space, a quiet space, a private space, if you want to work with other people, probably, I don't know what their scope of their plan is, but probably sit-stand desks, being able to have really robust Wi-Fi, like that's the type of thing
Fax
that they're
machines
going
and
for.
supported with some technology and some
Yes.
hardware as well, I think is part of the idea.
And they have the space, the periodical room is large, but they also are not taking away meeting space. So in our library, we have the Fells room, right? So we don't want to take that away from programming, but we have the local history room, but I don't think we want to use that for something like that. So, right. So, but it's definitely exciting, and they're right at the finish line, so, yeah.
Thank you for following up on that, appreciate it.
Good. Others, continue. This is all interesting ideas. Anything else?
You said something about someone's gonna be responsible for press releases. Are we gonna have articles just like I see about other libraries in the newspaper? Okay.
We plan on doing that monthly. So the plan is when the e-newsletter is finished, to send that to the papers for print. And we just are gonna get on a great schedule, and have everybody on the same page working together. So everybody will be responsible for a piece of it. Lena was very excited to kind of spearhead that, so.
Enjoyed that always,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, she does a really nice job. So, yep. That's the plan. Yeah.
What else is
That's
on your
it.
list,
That's
Maria?
it, no
Okay.
more. I have to ask all my questions before May.
There you go.
Nice job, Adriana.
That's good. Anything, Pat?
Good, yeah.
I think we're waiting.
You're there daily.
Just to thank Michelle and the staff. I think they've been great for months.
Oh,
They've been
yes.
great for months.
She's gonna yell at me if I don't correct her. Nicole.
Oh,
Because she yelled at me last time. I didn't correct her. She's like, you have to correct me.
Yes, Nicole.
Sorry, I know you know.
I
But
really
there
do
is,
know your name.
but there is a thank you to Michelle
To Michelle,
Jervis,
yeah,
who's
she was-
Yeah.
usually in the room right behind us, back here,
yeah.
who is now also, many of hats she wears is HR.
Yeah.
And she worked with Pat a lot during this
great,
whole
yeah.
process, so I was amiss not mentioning Michelle, because she's terrific too.
Yeah.
I mean, she helped this
She
whole
is, yeah,
process
it's been
get along
amazing.
done well.
The lady that runs the town.
Yeah.
Yes. All righty.
Mr. Chairman, I'm waiting for your comments, I think.
No, I started with mine today. You got my blurb
You
at
got
the
ahead of the
beginning.
rest of us.
Yeah, really.
Well, if it's in order, then, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adjourn.
All righty, and the next meeting is on March 26th, right here, be square. And we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Oh,
7 o'clock?
I'm gonna say, it's 7 o'clock, Richard made the motion, Pat seconded it, and that's because Lisa listens to these meetings, so she says, if you could use some names so I know who's doing things. She says, I don't always understand,
Yeah.
and I forget sometimes, so jump in. So I have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sam.